need like a magic wand for that. Ring, ding. Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Chatter Live. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Harrell, and this is my co-pilot, Jason Block.
Howdy.
Oh, we got applause for that. Ooh. How come you saved the applause for Jason?
Well,
I was talking. He did.
I was buttering him up before the show.
Oh, I got it.
You were yelling at him.
So behind the camera is our producer Evan, and he likes to chime in with sound effects that are truly him. So please know, as I once went to an event where we had to do improv.
Okay.
And they said, and I was down, first one to volunteer, whatever.
Naturally.
And then they said that I tried to control the creativity, that I wasn't letting myself go.
Does not play well with others.
It does not. Yeah, it was like, no, I was controlling my own creativity.
Oh.
Like I wouldn't allow myself to go where they wanted to go in improv.
Oh.
So anyway, so as much as I do try to control the creativity, I'm not controlling the sound effects. If this is your first time to our show, welcome. And for those of you I've already seen in the chat and our members only Facebook group who've come back week after week, thank you so much for returning. I'm glad that we have not yet bored you to death. Like you're still coming back.
Hope not.
we hope not. We try to keep it lively. While I'm mentioning our members-only Facebook group, if you are a member of Travel Quest Network, that's where the chatter is happening for the Weekly Chatter Live. And, we'd love to share wins, challenges, or, sometimes they just start talking to themselves. It's hard for us as hosts to keep control. Yeah, to keep up. But we do our best, and we hope that this hour flies by because you're having so much fun, whether you're in the carpool lane or you are at the beach or you are just sitting at home.
On an airplane.
Yeah, in commission manager, invoicing at time of booking.
Always at time of booking.
Always at time of booking. Anyway, so you and I.
Yes.
You and I. Sorry, I almost did Ben from Michael Jackson. You and I got to experience Ocean Vista is how it was pronounced for the first part of the day.
Is it officially Vista?
No, it's Vista.
Okay.
But this one poor team member at the Port Authority, she got tasked with a bunch of travel professionals showing up for this preview when we were told, do not come until your scheduled boarding time.
Correct.
Right?
So what do they all do?
One person I know showed up 4 hours. It wasn't one of us, but caused this backlog. The poor person is trying to navigate people who are trying to get on the NCL ship that was in port, and then for this Ocean Vista is how she pronounced it. But because there was so much pandemonium, I told you I had to leave the building. You were in the queue way ahead of me because I had to leave the building because she was just yelling at everyone, NCL or Vista, NCL or Vista. And it was comical and it was a great event. But we got to experience Oceania both our first time.
Yeah.
On a beautiful ship. What did you think?
Beautiful. It was beautiful. It's hard to it was an overnight, right? And we didn't sail anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can't give you a full opinion here, but the feeling, the vibe was nice. Was nice.
And the ship, even though I've heard so many of their talking points before, the ship it was smaller. And that's how they're able to get into some of the ports that they're able to get into.
Right.
And you and I went to an executive session where it was in the theater, and it had more of a small club vibe.
Yeah,
and that
it was,
fit
it was
the
almost
ship
like a
because
big lounge.
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't feel theatery.
Yes.
Which, depending on the performance, might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like no matter where you were sitting,
it was a good seat.
Yeah, it was a good seat.
Yeah.
But you could see why they do so many 6-month tours, full year tours. You could see because it had all the touches. And I do have to say this: and I would never have thought that I would be this person, but in in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So if I was on a ship for 6 months, 3
Uh-huh.
months, or even 2 weeks,
Right.
there were drawers for you to put
I was
things
about
in.
to bring that up.
It was,
Certain that you would have enjoyed those.
yeah,
For all of your various skincare products and
exactly.
Things like
Because
that.
what happens when you're on a regular ship is they start.
it was like a little dressing table
Yeah.
almost.
it
You
really-
couldn't pull up to it, but it was a chest of drawers, a little dressing table and a mirror, and
Yeah.
there was actually room in the bathroom for 2 people to be.
Yes, like you totally get ready.
So they stole a little space out of the stateroom was still
Nice.
adequately large,
Yeah.
but the bathroom was quite large.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is just my take on it,
Mhm.
because I'm sure you guys have tuned in for our take on the Oceana Vista.
Vista.
But even though the stateroom was smaller because they gave space to the bathroom is the time when, like, because you're getting ready or, you know, whatever, you can get really stressed out. And it can be miserable, especially if you're a couple.
Banging into
Yeah,
stuff.
you know, well, are you going to get to the bathroom? So
Yes.
I did feel like you would, because of the intimacy of the rest of the ship,
Mhm.
you wouldn't miss that you don't have all that space in the cabin. Like you would go to a nice intimate place to either eat or read a book or somewhere else on the ship. So I thought they did a great job. But
Yeah.
you brought up the length of time that we were there.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I had to talk to Donna, who works with us and works on our calendars, keeps us organized, because I don't think about my trip until I'm on the trip. So she goes in and like makes sure that I'm organized. Well, I didn't realize that we weren't even there for more than 24 hours. So just so you know, if you are in the industry, now we do know people that are watching us that are not in the industry. There's a difference between a christening,
Yes.
or a naming ceremony, an inaugural, and a preview. And a preview, like we were on, my boarding time was 1:30. We had a meeting at 3:15. We had a dinner at 7:30. And we had a slip of paper that said we must vacate our room by 7 a.m. So we are so grateful. Thank you so much for having us, Oceana. But it was my first, was it your first preview?
No.
Okay. I should have checked with you first, because I was like, why am I unpacking? I don't even get to use these drawers. But
It was a quick turnaround.
yeah. But it was nice to
But
be
if
able
you
to see
do
it.
book clients on there or you travel on it yourself, I will tell you that the Terrace Cafe at the aft of the ship is a very nice spot, especially on a sunny day.
The chair.
Especially on a sunny day.
Okay. I like that.
Just in time, Evan.
Yeah. And there's also there's amazing ice cream that has a lot of names that I can't give you, but I noticed that, I know that at the end of the one that I liked, it was Fat Elvis. And I'm just saying.
That's what you called it, right?
No, that was the name.
I think it was Elvis the Fat Years.
Oh.
I think. Is what they
Okay.
said.
Well, one of those. But it has like Bogart, Elvis Costello. I don't know. It has a lot of names in it. But when I boarded the ship, the attendant said, "Oh, this is this is just amazing," and I'm like, ice cream doesn't get me excited. I mean, it just doesn't. Ice cream does not get me excited. I had one bite of that, and I was sharing, and I just wanted to take the whole cup. So, but just look it up. Just if you say, I need to try this ice cream, it has a big name, and Fat Elvis, Big Elvis, I don't know. Elvis, they'll know what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, that was our Monday, our Sunday Monday. What was that? It kind of made the week feel a little weird.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
But anyway, all right, we're gonna pop over into the chat, see what's been going on with you guys. So first and foremost, very happy to say that our Cynthia from Birmingham got in first.
First in.
Hello, all. Happy Friday. Alan Granza, happy Friday. Good to see you. Teresa said, "Happy Friday, prepping for possible flooding here in Virginia Beach."
Oh no.
That's the one thing I do not like about doing a show or broadcasting all over the country is anything can be happening anywhere. So like, you have to flooding in Virginia Beach, a tornadoes going through here. Like, there's a lot happening.
Well,
But-
I hope you don't have bad flooding. So
Yeah, I hope you don't have blood
lock
flooding.
it down and get inland.
But if you notice that anybody in the Minnesota area, Wisconsin area, they will always talk about the weather. I'm just saying. Now that I've said it, just let's see. Let's see if you notice it too. Let's see. Aloha Rebecca said, "Happy Aloha Friday, everyone."
Aloha.
Rebecca, always good to see you. Let's see. Cynthia is joining us, not only first in, but she has a win. She said, "My win this week, breaking 100K in sales for the first time.
Yeah.
I set this goal in January for 2023.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking it was ridiculous, but OMG, I made it. The 3,000 or 33,000 I booked small group Princess Alaska cruise tour this week made it happen. So
Fantastic.
#happy dance." And I mean, Cynthia's
Fantastic.
been on a journey.
She has.
She was a naysayer at one point. She was out there being like, "Oh, I'm never gonna get any leads." And now, look at that. She even said it was a ridiculous goal, and she still put it in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, good
I love it.
things happen, you know. It just sometimes takes some time, and you know, the year isn't out yet, right?
And Cynthia, the time kind of flies by, but I do believe that this was your first full year. I believe that she retired just before the year started. So everything that she was doing, kind of getting her business set up, was getting ready for retiring from her career. And now she is crushing it. Do we have a crushing it sound? Yeah! Or that. That's also good.
We'll make do.
Yeah.
No, that's great, Cynthia.
Congratulations. Hannah said, "Happy Friday, all." Let's see. Andy said, "Happy Friday." Thank you. Let's see. Everybody's giving some kudos to Cynthia. Let's see. And our Erica, our head of education, she said, "Fantastic!" It was all caps. I had to add some exclamation points there. And then she goes, "And still a few months to go."
That's right.
Absolutely amazing. So, your stretch goal now can slide up. So,
That's right.
Love it. And Anna said she's in Midlothian, Virginia.
Yes, I know where that is.
And my husband is a firefighter and is thinking he may have to run some calls tonight. You always, when you're in a situation, you're like, ugh. But the first responders all through the night. Well,
Very thankful for that.
Andy has noticed that the cat clock is gone. So Kit Kat is gone. And I'm going to tell you, I'm really disappointed. And Evan, don't even try to point over there. I'm not even going to acknowledge you. Because the cat made it one show before his eye was
before you broke
broken.
it.
And then now, he's not just broken and gone off the wall. His tail is broken. He is beat up. His eyeballs are all gone. And he's just sitting over here on the floor. So I'm just saying, like, to take care of things, like, can we
have nice things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't have nice things. Oh my goodness. Lots of people tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in live. Let's see. We got our people in Virginia. We got to give our energy to here. Emily said, "Happy Friday, y'all. This week has flew by." More congrats to Cynthia. Okay, so here's a special. Oh gosh,
What?
sorry, I moved things around and oh no, I didn't. Well, I did, kind of. I didn't move it, but somebody else did. Aloha Rebecca She said her win. She leveled back up to a crown jewel.
Nice.
So I'm just shining bright like a diamond, just like you are. Is it catching the light? Yeah, there we go. A little bit.
That's fantastic.
I also had 9 new inquiries and 5 bookings this week. Challenge, keeping up with it all. If it keeps up, I'll need to hire a virtual assistant. LOL. And you've actually said that before. She's gone through this period. I don't have a memory like a steel trap, but sometimes there's weird things that do stick in my head. So it is heavy. It's also a weapon. So that's what I threaten Evan with every once in a while. I'll be like, "Oh my gosh," No.
So if you were like, I just picturing it with your diamond cuffs. If you were like a superhero, you like shoot gems or something.
Oh gosh, could you imagine? If someone's an artist out there and wants to have fun with it, make me a superhero.
Or you have like some kind of
shooting
like
diamonds.
staff, that like shoots glitter and diamonds.
I do have a walking stick that I got for the crown jewels.
Oh
That's
my
like
goodness.
that. So I just want to take a pause on this virtual assistant because this has come up over the few years. How to hire a virtual assistant. We've gone through it, and for different things that we've done. I've done it in my past life as well. So if and Rebecca, I know you said LOL. If it keeps up, I'm gonna have to. But seriously, do consider it. The one piece of advice that I would give you is make sure that you have your systems in place, that you have your files stored in a way that are easy for people to access. You know how to give people, if you want to give them permission to your calendar or things like that, or different systems that you're using. Make sure you research that and have that all prepared ahead of time, because once you sign that contract or set up that subscription, you're paying for it. So don't have that first meeting where you're like, oh, I'll need to get that to you. I need to get you that. Have all that stuff already done. Right. It will make a huge difference in your onboarding.
Yeah.
And even having an onboarding process.
Yeah. And it's also the kind of thing, not to dip your toe in and do for like 2 weeks and then be like, oh, this isn't working.
Yeah.
I think you need to kind of mentally and financially prepare your business to say, okay, we're going to try this for several months before you really decide if it's working or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you take that step, you have to have some focus and confidence that you're going to continue to drive the business, right? And it's not to dissuade you from it, but when you start engaging, fixed costs, that's where you have to, take another step up in terms of, how you're committing to certain behaviors.
And I think about, why am I forgetting Steve? Steve Salmon. He got so much attention when he did a conversation with you, and he talked about how he knew that he could go and hunt for clients, but he could also hire people that were not necessarily the salespeople.
Right.
That could be the ones that could do the finishing touches and do the bookings and things like that. So the way he configured it and his setup was, and these weren't virtual assistants, but this is the mindset, is if I have somebody to do this that I don't love doing, I can do more of this, which will definitely pay for this and have benefits all the way around.
Yeah, whether it's a virtual assistant or an employee, or it's what are you best at? What can only you do? And as you grow, you start hiring for other roles.
Yeah, and that's how we got Evan.
Yeah.
And I just needed some sound effects, and he kind of stuck. What was more better than that sound effect was the way he cut his eyes to him and just ignored
shook
me.
His head.
Yeah, it was like, please note that.
We eventually we might need to get a producer cam.
Yeah.
So in the corner you can see Evan's reaction.
But it has to almost be like what was that show, Cops? It needs to be like, the hidden cam in the back seat of the car where it's like really dark and you just see like cat eyes.
Oh my God.
Let's make some noise!
There, he's like getting us on track there. The Travel Quest founder Bonnie Lee's joined us. She said,
Hey,
it's
Bonnie.
been a quick week. Happy Friday. Amy said, win for the week. Final payments complete for 5 NCL South America Antarctica cruise.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, girl for that.
Sweet.
And this week was full of partner spotlights. We had partner spotlights here in the studio. We had one in our New Jersey annex with our Erica, and we had Lynn from NCL here.
That's right.
And it was so much fun to talk to her and have her in the studio. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live, all that partner spotlight as well as the others are available on episodes within WorldVia Pro, or you can even check them out on YouTube if that's a little easier. I have been enjoying. This. If someone walked in on me doing this, that sounds like we're going to go down a different path. But I'm just saying, if somebody walked into my bedroom and saw me watching myself on YouTube, they'd be like, "You've got problems." But I like to, was the sound good?
Taking notes.
Yeah,
Production
taking notes. Yeah. So I text our friend Evan, and I'm like, I feel like the cat eyeball looks like it's been stabbed. Anyway, Angela Larson has joined us and said, "Where's
Angela.
Jason's laptop?"
Well, I'm glad somebody noticed because I'm feeling a bit naked without it. And it's not because Joshua has taken back the reading of the chat. It's I forgot to bring it, so I'm glad you have your phone.
Well,
I sat down, kind of a few minutes
and you
before
got
we started.
here early too.
Well, yeah, I was a full 10 minutes before we started, and which is early in my book. But I'm sitting here, I'm talking to Evan, and we are starting the show. I'm watching the little cartoon thing, and I'm thinking, I don't have my laptop. No
Yeah.
wonder I've felt a little off kilter.
Well,
Yeah.
you are back on kilter.
So-
Shine bright like a diamond.
But I'm glad you have your phone.
But of course, Angela.
Yep.
Noticed that. Regina said had a great Express fam at Universal this week. Very fun. Universal's destinations and experiences. UDX, is that how they're abbreviating it?
Is it?
UDX. I'm like, we just here. How are we
Abbreviated
doing an
already?
abbreviation already?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see here. We're going to come back to the chat because everybody's still absolutely just excited for everybody that had wins. I mean, there's a lot going on there. And somebody's phone is going off. All right. Anyway. So this is not a news headline, but I do
Okay.
have it on my sheet for today.
All right.
So there was a black bear that was captured at the Magic Kingdom. I just feel like, I don't know, that just seems, I mean, they are on a very big piece of property.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's wildlife.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's just a little bit of extra, like, there's Country Bear Jamboree. Like, I want to know, did the bear, like, go in and sing in the great old key of G? I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was kind of an interesting experience there.
So I heard different reports. I heard that the bear was like in the overall vicinity, and they still shut down some rides and whatnot. But then I heard that the bear was actually in the park in a tree. So I'm like,
But if you are at Disney World and you see a bear in a tree, you'd be like, yeah, of course,
Well-
it's those Easter eggs that they just.
I'm thinking though, but Disney makes it fairly difficult to sneak into the park. Like
that's
there's
true.
barriers that prevent you from doing that.
Yeah.
Barriers, yes. So, so how did the bear get in? Or was it not actually in the park? In which case, why did they close down the rides? It's these are the questions that plague us.
It had to be because it said Tom Sawyer Island, Big Thunder Mountain. I mean, he was in the vicinity of
Sounds like it.
the
Country Bear Jamboree. It sounds like
yeah.
an escapee.
So
That's
it
what it
said that they were temporarily closed. State officials say that the animal was likely just looking for the bare necessities. You know, it's a state official that said that too. So you know he or she was like, I get to do this statement and I get to be cute. Anyway, I love it. I love it.
Yes.
All right, just a couple of reminders. We've got our getaway, our Crown getaway in Punta Mita, where you can, which is a part of our rewards and benefits program here at Travel Quest Network. But the Crown getaway is also where, if you are not yet in the Crown, you're able to join the group and hang out with some very, very cool people. And there are just a couple of cabins. Anyway, places where you can sleep. There's just a few of those left.
Places where you can sleep.
Yes. So you can sign up
Hotel
for that.
rooms.
Yes, hotel rooms. Thank you. So you can sign up for that if you go to World VR Pro and you go to the events. Just look for the getaway. That is December 7th, 8th, and 9th, I think it is.
That should be a fun trip.
Oh, it's going to be great. Marival, Armony. I've been there now a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it is very, it's luxury, but it's not over the top luxury.
Right.
And even though like they have residences there as well, you feel very secluded. The
That's
way
cool.
they've laid it out, it's very, very, very cool.
Well,
So,
when we have our events, everyone always says, like, the best part is networking with each other, right?
yeah.
So I kind of look at the getaway as a couple of days of networking, but without the distraction of the content.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Just relax on the beach and network.
Well, my joke is the first time in the first getaway we did with Marival Armony, and they had this really cool pool where it just kind of like the pool starts. It just like gradually becomes the pool as you're walking down to your room, and our members coming from up north. They were already in the water, and there was great networking. Some people were meeting
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Some people had seen each other before. So yes, the
and networking in the pool with a cocktail. I mean,
Yes.
If you get to call that work,
Yes.
it's a pretty good thing.
What's the thing? What's the cocktail drink with the orange? It's not. It's a espadrille. That's not an espadrille.
Aperol spritz.
Yeah,
A spritz
but that kind, Aperol.
with Aperol, yeah.
Yeah, they're orange, right? Their branding
Yeah.
is orange. Okay, so when we went, they were doing some kind of branding thing, and
Okay.
they had hats everywhere and beach balls everywhere. So yes, our group was pretty fun. I mean, who doesn't like swag? But you guys
Everybody.
know who you are. So also,
That'll be fun. When is that again?
that is December 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Cool.
At Marival Armony and Punta Mita. And like I said, it's just a few more rooms left, but you can get to it. You can find out more information and sign up for it in World Via Pro under events. And just look under December, you'll see it. And we have a few special promotions, and because this is broadcasting out to the world, they are exclusive promotions only to Travel Quest Network and World Via, and that is with ALG Vacations and Royal Caribbean. So please, you want to take advantage of these because these are exclusive. No other agency in the marketplace has these opportunities at this moment in time. That's what we like to bring to you. A little bit of plus.
So details on those are in Pro.
Pro under growth promotions. So I'm try to map out the navigation. Evan, that's what we need is like if
Screen graphics?
Yeah, so or if you just want to like if we just draw like this
Like the
and
Madden
automatic-
Telestrator.
I'd like that.
That
yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's what we
I
need.
might
Let's make
be
some
sitting here and like draw like a mustache
noise!
on Joshua.
Okay,
No.
well we're not doing that.
I totally think we need to do that.
But
Let me
we
know if you
start-
agree.
So we started a few weeks back with asking for our members to send in video questions.
Yes.
And one member and her agency has taken over.
They're hogging the airtime.
Yeah,
But
they're
hey,
hogging the
you know,
airtime. And
first
guys, I'm just gonna say, if you are not, I know you have questions because whenever we're around you, you ask questions. So I know you have questions. Think about the fact that we're live streaming all around the world right now. You could say, "Hey, I'm so and so from this agency," and you could a little publicity there. I'm
Yeah,
just
a
saying.
lot of suppliers watch.
Yes, I'm just saying.
Good
But
times together.
our Angela Larson from Storybook Trips, she has definitely made it known within her agency. So we have. So if you do want to submit a video, you can shoot it anyway on your phone, but if you can do it vertically, that would be great. Just send that to support@TravelQuest Network, and they'll get that over to Evan, the producer. But today we have a video question, and this question comes from Jen Smith from Storybook Trips.
Okay.
Hi, Jen from Storybook Trips, and my question for you is, what is the most unique feature in a hotel room that you look for?
In a hotel room.
In a hotel room. Okay.
Most unique feature in a hotel room. Well, I'll tell you what it is not first. Okay. Tell me if I'm the only one who thinks this way.
Okay.
So, you go, especially in Mexico, to the all-inclusive resorts,
Yeah.
right? Which I love. Which many of you love.
Yes. And we're going to one.
But when they have this giant bathtub that is connected to the bedroom without any kind of divider
Oh yeah, that's
and any kind of place to dry off,
right.
and the floors in the entire room and bathroom are marble,
yeah.
it is like a death trap. Maybe
Well-
not a death trap, but that is not a feature that I look for.
So that's interesting because yes, it is a very common thing.
Yes.
But it's more that when I am bathing, I don't want the other person in the room to see me bathing.
That
so
too, obviously,
I don't
yes.
want. And one I was at had the not the racetrack. What's the thing you get on it when you're running?
Treadmill?
Yeah, the treadmill. It had the treadmill facing the bathtub.
The room had a treadmill?
Yeah, it had a treadmill and a bathtub beside the bed. And I was like, none of this needs. I'm not doing this at the same time, and nor should anyone be doing it. So, anyway, but I love Jen, and I got to meet Jen because she came to World this year, and I love her hair. I mean, beyond being a cool person. So, so Jen, one thing about when they're asking us these questions, I would love for them to add what they think,
Right.
because I feel like they have some ideas in mind if she asks a question like that. So you said what it is not is that. So is there a feature inside a room?
Yes,
that
the
you think-
one thing I love when it's there is a proper espresso machine.
Oh yeah, and that is
Like that, and that's where I found the one we have in the front of our office was from where was it? The Iberostar. No. Sorry, Moon Palace. The Grand
Okay.
Moon Palace had this particular espresso machine. I liked it so much. I bought one for.
And that's how I knew how to
Yes.
use it, because most of these places don't do a good job of explaining, and sometimes I'm like, what do you? Oh, you got to pour
Yes.
the water in the back. Okay, that's the
So
thing.
that's the one thing that I look for.
What you look for, or you just think is a cool?
Well, if I can, like, if they list sometimes they list it, but not usually. Mostly it'll just say coffee, and then you get there and it's espresso, yay.
Yeah, I do like a desk that is actually designed to be a desk, because sometimes they just
Composing your pen pal letters.
yeah. Well, when I write my postcards that you can send to our office, Evan, do you have that graphic? Wherever you're traveling, please send us a postcard. Those of you who remember Fraggle Rock when you were growing up, traveling Matt used to send a postcard to Gobo all the time. So please send us your postcards and let us know, all your travels. But you have to make sure that you send it. Like, don't live in Tampa and go to somewhere in France and then mail it to us from Tampa. I think we'll just return that.
cheating.
Return to sender. You're not going to do that. But how did I get on that? I didn't
desk.
The desk. Oh yeah. But sometimes they put a desk in, and they don't want it to take up too much of the space, especially with an all-inclusive. They're not really thinking about people working.
Right.
But most of the time when I'm traveling, I do like working, so that's my thing. Or putting on makeup or taking care of skincare. Like I need a proper thing. So if it's not deep enough for my laptop or my cosmetic case, that kind of bothers me. And there's a lot of places that don't do that very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Or they have really. It's just I like a modern hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most unique thing you've seen in a hotel? Period.
The most Well, I'm gonna take one that I think you would probably say. When we did our road show in DC, it was a cool place. The whole vibe was cool. We like after our first year doing road shows at regular hotels, we were like, no, we want to do something kind of unique in every city. So we go to this one place and it has a live DJ radio station right there.
In the
front-
lobby.
In the lobby. Yeah. And then we had, and then they even had a speakeasy that had to have a code. You had to have a code to get in.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
thought
cool
it was-
hotel.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. So thank you for your question, Jen, from Storybook Trips. And guys, come on, jump in. We'd love this. We'd love to see your videos. I know you shoot videos all the time on your phone, so you can definitely jump in. Now, I know
Yes.
somebody has been waiting in the green room for a while, and that is our Velma Tollison from Tyler, Texas. Velma, sorry to keep you waiting.
Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. I felt like
Happy
you were
Friday.
probably going to go to sleep. Like she was going to take a nap. Because I was supposed to bring her. I was supposed to bring her in a long time ago. I'm sorry, Velma.
I was working. I can, I'm a multitasker.
She
Yes, I-
multitasking. Well, it's
Yes.
always
Well,
so good to see you.
Yes, good to see you. You're looking very well. So is Jason. And I like the background. You need more postcards, that's for sure.
I know, Velma. When are you going to get around and add to our wall here?
It'll come. It'll
I
come.
really can't commit to that. I cannot commit to any kind of date. So,
She's like, That's been there's been a lot of people who have been not wanting to commit to dates especially after we came back from our giant conference. They're like, I'm just, it's gonna happen. No, but one day, and I think it's gonna be very, very soon. One day, the post person is gonna come up and it's gonna have a bag over their shoulder and say,
Like Miracle on 34th Street.
I'm looking for
Dumping the bag on the table.
I'm looking for Evan Greenberg, and then boom, and then we'll have to go through them. That would be a fun day.
That would be
yes, it
amazing.
would.
Anyway.
It would.
So
Okay.
Velma, take us through the numbers because you are our your official title outside of being one of the oracles of travel in my eyes. You are our growth manager, and
Yes, I am.
you dive in deep into the numbers, and
do.
every week you bring us the top 3 individual agents, not agencies, but agents. Their top invoiced and so anticipated revenue for the week. And it's always exciting, and you always have some little nuggets or tidbits that you've picked up along the way. So, you ready to take us through that?
I am. So we have 3 kind of different types of sales figures this week. In the number 3 spot, gross sales of $111,000 with a net revenue of $16,000. And this member sold just a few. He sold a few, but they're high dollar Viking River and Ocean and Virgin Voyages.
Hmm.
So he was definitely selling luxury. In the number 2 spot, gross sales of 177,467 with a net weekly revenue of 20,127. And this member sold 8 different cruise lines, and but they were all, in the premium category. Do you know what I mean by that, Joshua?
You know what? Indulge me.
Premium category would be like Celebrity, Disney, Holland America, MSC, NCL, Princess. So not quite luxury, but not in the not a a basic cruise. It's a premium type product.
Okay.
So yes, that was a great week for this member. And then in the number 1 spot, gross sales of 173,000 with a net weekly revenue of 22,909. This member sold a group on Apple, a small group with FunJet, and 1 Delta Vacations tour.
Wow.
Yes,
Not too shabby.
not too shabby at all.
Are you
I like
noticing?
this one.
Are you have because you do this every single week. Are you noticing any particular trends that you think it's noteworthy right now?
I'm seeing a trend of our members selling up.
Selling up.
I do. I see them selling up. Their customers, and I'm not going to mention any of these suppliers where you wouldn't consider maybe selling up, but we used to sell a certain number of suppliers where it would be kind of a basic economy type package or cruise.
Mhm.
But we're seeing more of the premium and the luxury categories, and we're seeing more groups.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That is fantastic. Well, I'm sorry I kept you waiting in the green room, but Jason and I were just, having an easy Friday. That's what we were trying to have.
I
But
completely understand, and I wanted to add, I have had Fat Elvis ice cream.
is it called
Okay.
Fat Elvis or the Fat
Yes,
Years?
it is. That's the official
I
name.
thought it was. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah, it's amazing. So Velma, we're gonna let you go, but I want to make sure everybody tunes in Monday at 1 Eastern. You've got Anne Ruman from Old Farm Travel.
Yes,
So
she's
for a
very
conversation.
much Facebook. She is very popular on Facebook in our group.
Oh, I'm gonna get her Anne a T-shirt. I am popular on Facebook. No, I can't wait for that. And guys,
Okay.
don't forget, Velma has a weekly column in Pro called the Check-In. So get checked by Velma because she has so much knowledge that she is very, very willing to share.
That's the T-shirt you need. I've been checked. or
Yeah.
something like that.
I was messaging her earlier today, and she said, "Oh, I've already got ideas about this, that, and the other." And I was like, "Okay, well now you just gave her a T-shirt. It's happening. You've been checked." Anyway, it is always such a pleasure. Have a wonderful
Thanks,
weekend, Velma.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So, I just peeped over into the chat, and Bill, who we got to see at World,
Yep.
he also gave us the National Day. He's been doing it for a while now, a
What do we got?
regular. We have National Elephant Appreciation Day, and he asks, he's got 2 questions.
Okay.
Have you ever pet an elephant?
Yes.
And what's the weirdest animal you have ever touched?
I rode on an elephant once. And a camel.
Was it the same experience?
It was-
In my mind, I feel like it would be the same.
It wasn't like the same place. Oh, we mean was
Yeah.
it like?
Yeah,
Yes,
I feel like it
camel
would be
was
the
like
same
that.
movement.
Yes.
I would probably just.
What's the weirdest animal you've ever touched?
I'd
say like one of those stingrays. That was kind of
yeah.
just because it's like kind of slimy.
So I've definitely I've definitely pet an elephant. I don't remember where. And I have done the stingray thing, but there used to be this a very divisive subject, but there were these little not pop-up, but little small aquariums when I was a kid, and there was one right down by my house, and it did have a petting pool for dolphins. So
Okay.
I think being a child and not having like, gorilla hands, they're all dry and crusty. Like my smooth hand against this like what I looked like it was going to be smooth, but then was also very scratchy. That was kind of I mean, it's not a weird animal. I mean, it's the weirdest animal. I will say that, I mean, not all babies are cute. So I will say that I have pet some dogs that are not cute. And I love my dogs, but they're sometimes not cute. Anyway, moving right along. Thank you, Bill, for National Elephant Day. And I don't know, do we have an elephant?
I don't think
We
so.
don't. We have no, but we do have an inflatable rainbow Pegasus unicorn thingy. So maybe that's what we need next. Let's see. So Aloha Rebecca said she's pet an elephant, rode on one too. The weirdest animal ever touched was at a petting zoo in Oregon. It was a skunk. But
Oh.
they had taken out the stink glands, so it didn't stink anymore.
So my aunt,
Yeah?
she, as a younger person, had all kinds of weird animals. She had a pet skunk when she was in her 20s.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Cynthia said she touched a tarantula.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, and then Christina said Twilight Zone week. Served jury duty on a murder trial this week, but ended up not completing it because my daughter was in hospital. She's okay now, but so did not need to take a week taken off my hands. Like,
Wow.
that's yeah.
That sounds
normally
like quite a week.
Yeah, it's a lot going on there. Let's see. Hannah said, there's an island near me that is only accessible by a small private ferry. People live there, but there are no services on the island like stores or gas.
Okay.
There are a lot of deer, though, and they will walk right up to you and let you pet them. It
Oh.
turns out that a deer's nose is very soft and velvety.
Oh.
I thought it would be kind of wet like a dog,
Right.
but it's not.
Oh,
Who
interesting.
knew? So Hannah, you just mind blown. Like, hello.
I totally would have expected it to be like a dog's nose.
Very soft and velvety.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so that is very, very awesome. Thank you for Bill making us. We learned about camels, stingrays, dolphins, and skunks and ugly dogs. All right. I think I did have a little birdie in my ear saying that it was time to go to our New Jersey studio. Erica Scanelli, are you there?
Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday to ya. How's it going?
Fantastic. I'm so happy I have audio this week. It's nice when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, wasn't
Me
it like
too.
2 weeks in a row? Like,
You
it was
know-
just like, just run her over. Just keep on going. Don't
Well,
stop.
one of our kind members pointed out, as I am technically challenged, technologically challenged, he pointed
Right.
out, I was using the clicker and pointing it out of the screen instead of the machine. So
Wait, you have a remote?
it's
for your
user, no, it's just, that's just a metaphor for me and technology.
She was doing that when she was presenting on main stage at World.
I gotcha.
And she was like, I just don't know why this isn't working. And somebody was like, stop pointing it up there. That's not where it is.
like
I
an old
missed
man
that. I didn't
in
catch that
back
for
seat
some
at a diner.
So what's happening next week? What does everyone need to clear the calendars and
Here
Put-
are the calendars.
put
and
on the must-do list?
There's stuff every day. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Lay it on me.
Monday, Velma's having the conversation with Anne.
Yep.
And, just a plug for Ms. Anne, she is our Questy winner of the Community Steward Award.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. First time winner.
congratulations. Big
that we've done that
congratulations
one.
to Anne. Yes, so I'm excited to hear that conversation.
Yeah.
On Tuesday,
What's
we're making
happening?
magic with our Dream Makers monthly meeting.
Oh, yes. And if you are a member of Dream Makers, I think we have some new pixie dust to unveil, maybe kind of sort of halfway. Anyway, we have some news, so make sure
Is Evan
you
panicking?
Yeah. So we'll have to talk offline. But yes, some exciting things happening with Dream Makers, and just so you know, if you don't know, it's our special group for those folks who are passionate about Disney destinations.
That's right.
So yeah, hey, see you then.
I'm looking forward to it. So if you want to join the meeting, go on to World Via Pro, and there's information about joining the Dream Makers. As long as you get your information to me by Monday, you can join Tuesday's meeting. Okay?
Okay, so don't come on Tuesday expecting to get into it.
Don't come on Tuesday
Come
knocking
by
on
Monday.
my door.
Yeah, just want everyone to be clear on that.
I got a
Come
schedule
and knock
here,
on my
people.
door. We've been waiting for you. Where the towels are hers and his. Three's company too.
Okay. I don't know. I definitely.
Where do you go from
enjoy
there,
the re-
Erica?
I enjoy the Regal Beagle though because I am a Beagle owner, so I have always appreciated the Regal Beagle. I thought that would be a fun bar to hang out in.
Something's happening here. All right, let's continue, Erica. So we have Dream Makers
we're
on Tuesday.
having our all call, where
That's
you
right.
can see the more professional side of Travel Quest Network.
This is the fine. I will remind everybody. This is the finest and highest level of infotainment you will find anywhere in this industry.
And it,
Go on.
that's a perfect statistic, Jason Black. On Thursday, our friends at Hilton are coming for a power talk, and we're talking specifically about Hilton luxury product. And
Okay.
you know what one of Hilton's luxury products is?
I do.
Waldorf Astoria.
I knew that.
So
That's
some
very
of us
exciting.
may have experience with Waldorf Astoria.
Some of us might. That's great.
Some of us might.
Okay, so
And
that's
then
on.
Friday,
Yeah.
we got one more.
Okay.
Andrea from Delta Vacations, our girl Andrea's coming for a partner connection. And I have one more announcement. I just want to give a hot little education tip because our friends over at Travel Leaders Network have unveiled a brand new specialist course. So
Okay.
if you are corporate minded, the new corporate account management course is available. And do you know what? Do you want to know how they describe a corporate account manager?
I would love to know.
I wrote this
Erica.
down. I want to quote it exactly. The pinnacle contact in today's highly competitive business landscape. Pinnacle contact. That is important. And for we called it out. Our girl Yemeni, if you're listening, you got another course in front of you.
Yeah, the joke is that Yamini has done all the certifications.
Done them all.
In fact, this year at Edge, she walked the stage and they were like, and there's no more. There's none for you to do. Well, guess what? You've got one now.
Now there is.
As Joshua likes to say, challenge accepted.
That's right. Hey, in all seriousness, Erica, with the account management course, for those of you who are building corporate agencies, the Corporate Travel Specialist is a great program for business travel, agent activities. But this new account management course is I think, going to be a really good investment of your time when it comes to, okay, how do I actually build client relationships and grow my corporate book of business. So I think it was a gap, and I think it's a pretty good offering that they filled.
I'm glad you clarified that because when we were talking about it earlier, we didn't quite hit on that part of it.
Right.
And we know from one of our sister company, they that's what they do.
Yeah.
And it isn't just about booking trips all the time. It is about
Yeah.
managing that relationship,
Yeah.
finding gaps. Sometimes there are gaps that a company has that they're not even aware of, but through
Sure.
really truly managing the
Yeah.
relationship.
And before anyone thinks like account management, especially in the corporate travel space, it's all about just hey, I'm going to take somebody out to lunch and make sure they're happy. That's not what it is. It's advising on corporate travel policy and how they can manage their travel spend, how the client can manage their travel spend. So there's a fair degree of science that goes into it. And a number of tools that most of our members within the TravelQuest network don't have a need for because they don't focus in the corporate space. But we do have, if you're out there and you're building that corporate agency, we do have lots of tools that we could bring to bear. So it's a good offering, and I think for the right person, building a corporate agency, there's a lot of niches, even in corporate travel, to focus on certain kinds of clients that could be quite lucrative.
Yeah.
It's a completely different kind of business than building a business that's focused on all inclusives or Disney or cruises, but it could it's has every bit the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
and ever since I've been exposed to some of our members who operate that type of business, it's the types of companies they are or who they serve,
Yeah.
very very different than what you would expect. So
Yeah.
that's
And some of the
thank you for
content of this program, it's analyzing global spend, working with C-suite executives. This is really going in depth for exactly the kind of thing you're talking about, Jason.
Yep. So check that out if that's up your alley.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds like we have a full week. And I just want a quick.
Oh,
I hope you have a great weekend too, Erica. Just a quick plug, everybody. Do join the All Call next week. I know one thing that I would like to talk about, and it's not appropriate for this venue since it is a public broadcast here, but there's some things regarding some of our product releases in NordVia Pro and NordVia.com that I want to shed some light on next week. So we have some cool stuff happening there. That big release came out on Wednesday, and we have many agents who are already featured on NordVia.com, which is
That's very
exciting.
cool.
But I want to talk about some of that in more detail than we can talk about here. So definitely plan to join the call live if you can. Love to hear your questions on it. But if you can't, check out the recording, which will be made available on Pro.
Yes. And real quick before we get to the headlines, I want to say that Aloha Rebecca said when we were talking about the virtual assistant, she said, that's all great advice, Joshua. I'll need to straighten out the method to my madness for sure. I think I need to learn how to let go of tasks also. That's my biggest problem.
That's not easy sometimes. So we feel your pain.
And Erica, thank you so much for coming to us live from New Jersey. Have a wonderful weekend, okay?
bye.
Thanks, Erica.
Bye. And our Terry wanted to remind us that today we had a Lux Discuss with Ariane from Club Med.
Oh, yeah.
So it will be on World Via Pro very, very soon.
Check
Make
it
sure you
out.
check out episodes. There's, you know what, Erica said, very busy week, lots to tune in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in episodes. Because that's where we house all the on-demand content.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. If you have
Yeah.
been kind of heads down, working on your sales, which you should be doing, you might have missed quite a lot. But don't
Yeah.
worry, it's there in episodes. So please check it out.
Yep.
So I think it's time for the headlines. Wait a minute, you got sound effects.
In headlines today, we've learned that Joshua Harrell will be made into a superhero that shoots gems somehow. So that's exciting. I
Gem
think that's the
shooter,
lead- that's
gem
the lead
gem
headline.
shooter. He's chasing down
It
crime.
I'm pretty sure it needs to be like a variation on the Gem and the Hologram song.
Oh, because it was truly outrageous.
Truly
outrageous. I'm
Jillian, if you happen to be watching, I hope you're singing along at home. That was Jillian's favorite cartoon, and she indoctrinated our children to love it. And she is caught from time to time around the house singing it.
Oh
I know.
my
Yeah.
goodness!
She
I
should
knew
be that for
I loved
Halloween,
her.
actually.
She should what?
She should be Jem for Halloween. That would be a great costume.
Because truly outrageous.
Did you identify with Jem or the Misfits?
Oh no, Jem, please.
Or their weird manager?
Because she had those earrings that she just the
What?
red earrings. Jem did.
Earrings?
Yeah, that's how she talked to the computer that her dad built. I think. Maybe Jill and I
Maybe
need to
I
get
didn't
together.
pay close enough attention
Yeah,
to Jem.
no, I mean, I think
Okay,
they were trying to be like the
headlines.
Transformers and GI Joe, but a little bit different.
Headlines. Thank you, Evan. Royal Caribbean has announced that they will be opening the adults-only section on Coco Cay. It will be timed in January for the release of the new Icon. But unfortunately, the new adults-only section will come at a price. So, Royal Caribbean is good at generating some incremental revenue, and to escape the children for a day, it's going to range from $39 to $89, depending on the time of year.
Okay.
So, depending on demand, I presume.
And
So
so
still
that-
pretty exciting. About an acre space with 20 cabanas. It's going to have a beach, 2 pools, some open air spots with live music. So that sounds pretty cool.
So I'm wondering what they'll do with celebrity stopping off. I wonder if maybe they might work out some kind of inclusion opportunity.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Colette announced that they are introducing a pretty good travel advisor rewards program where you can qualify to travel at significantly reduced rates, starting at 50% off. And I had to kind of read that, and I still want to double check that, but it seems like it's starting off at 50% off their published price, and if you can get 40 passengers in the year, then you can earn a completely free trip. So that sounds very exciting.
Yeah,
and they do great stuff. So
And they do great stuff, and I want to point that out because I did not know very much about them.
Mm-hmm.
And our Velma, she said, "Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah.
Colette."
Yeah, they're really
and I went to Nashville with them,
Mhm.
and I would have never expected to have that much fun at Nashville. I'm not talking about like it was a booze up. No, it was one of their experiences that they put together,
Yeah.
and it was just so cool.
Yeah, awesome. So check that out. Holland America introducing a new product for September of 24, which is a 53-day Majestic Japan itinerary. And I was talking about this with Evan before, while Joshua was yelling at Evan before the show. We were talking about Japan and cruises, and it was a pretty cool offering because when you think cruises, you don't necessarily think Japan. And when you think Japan, you don't necessarily think cruises.
That's true.
So but it makes sense, so that seems pretty cool. 53 days, 13 different Japanese port cities. So that's something to check out if you have clients who have an extended duration and budget that they want to immerse themselves in Japan. Might be a pretty cool.
But I mean, it takes a
itinerary.
long time to get there. Lynn and I were talking about that with Pride of America being in Hawaii. I mean, get around and
Yeah,
you'll
that's
be
why I
able
haven't been
see
to
it.
Hawaii, because if I go, I want to spend 53 days there.
Yeah. I don't know
mean,
about
to make
Hawaii,
that
but
flight-
Japan, I definitely
I'm
could
just
make that
making
happen.
fun
Okay. I'm talking about the fact that you fly over there and you're not having to go back and forth. Like
Yes.
sometimes it's a one and done.
I
thing.
agree with you.
Okay.
Lastly, we have Hyatt continuing to expand their footprint in really all segments in U.S., Canada, Latin America, Caribbean over the next couple of years. 30 new properties that they'll be opening. So that's they continue to grow their footprint, and they're a great partner of ours, and we certainly as a network do a lot together.
Yes. I would concur with that.
Those are your headlines for the week.
Yay!
No more,
Oh, that was
no more bear jokes.
for the bare necessities. Anyway, all right. Well, this hour has flown by. I did think it would. Thank you guys for joining us live or tuning in, watching us on demand, or listening to the podcast. Wherever you are watching us, if you can give us some hearts, some love, subscribe, turn the bell on. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTubers, especially when I'm watching myself,
Right.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it all of a sudden transfers over.
Right.
They're always talking about make sure you ring the bell
Ring
to
the
get
bell, smash the buttons, all
yeah,
those things.
I do all the things, but we hope to see you back here next week at 4 Eastern for the next Weekly Chatter Live.
Love y'all. Have a great weekend.